All right, some practical questions. So, how should an entrepreneur build a relationship with a banker? By calling them, by meeting them, by talking with them, and by really understanding that the banker's time is important. So going in there with some key questions that you need answered, and showing that you respect them, their time, and their that would be helpful. You don't want to be the guy or the girl who goes to the banker just to kill time. That doesn't work well. Bankers are busy too, and they can do a lot more. Bankers are usually interested in helping you grow because it helps them earn the money that you bring to the bank, and that money would eventually pay for the salaries. So don't forget, a banker is a professional, and you need to treat them that way. But at the same time, bankers have fantastic access to resource and so forth. So do your homework and save the banker time. That relationship will last long. What should an entrepreneur know about hiring an accountant? An important thing to do here is to get an accountant, because you're not going to be able to do all the taxes yourself unless you have an MBA, and maybe you do, and maybe you've got a finance background. Maybe you can spend some time online and learn what the regulations are, but it usually helps to just focus your energy elsewhere and let the paperwork and the numbers be done by the experts. Lots of resources online today in which you can, get a bookkeeper. You can register for services that let you do the service, the bookkeeping service, the taxing service. Go research, but also have someone who's knowledgeable in this space. It doesn't hurt to have a consultant or nearby if you needed their advice. As a startup, unless the numbers start growing, you're going to have to do it yourself or find a tool. But then if you want to be big and you want to grow, you're going to have to delegate this whole portion of accounting to a business or an accountant or an expert, because it can take a lot out of you. I know you want to watch the numbers, but you don't want to do the numbers. So get a good accountant. Lots of available in the Houston area. Ask for referrals. Go to SCORE and ask lots of retired accountants who would help you for free if you go to SCORE and look for mentors. All right. So what should an entrepreneur know about hiring a lawyer? So lawyers are similar to accountants. The legal advice, you usually don't want one until you have to need one. You do need a lawyer originally to incorporate, to make the decision about, what type of formation of your business. But thanks to the resources at SCORE, you shouldn't have to hire a lawyer for it. You've got lots of free legal advice available through the SHORE network. Make sure to utilize that. The students that you work with, they have, the law center in which you can go and talk to a student who can help establish the right business entity for what you're doing. So be creative in how you get your your startup off the ground. You do need a good lawyer, you do need a good accountant, and you also need a good banker, but you don't have to go crazy and spend all your money or your seed funding on it. Be creative, be resourceful, see what you have access to, and then utilize it. There are lots of websites like LegalZoom and others that can give you cheaper services, where you can hire a fractional lawyer or a fractional accountant. So consider those. You can also go to retired mentors through the SCORE, retired accountants, retired bankers, retired lawyers. They are giving their services for free, so go make use of that. And you definitely need some good advice, so make sure you try to get it for free. All right, broadly, what do you think are some of the best ways to generate business online? So there are lots of ways in the e-commerce world to generate business online. Everything from drop shipping to private labeling to just retailing, wholesaling. Those are some quick ways people are dabbling into the online space. The key there is knowing what will sell and doing it well. So having the eye to know what people are likely to buy, and choosing the right online shopping cart per se, whether it's Shopify or Amazon or eBay. Those are some really quick things, but now it's getting crafty. People are now selling on Facebook Marketplace and others. So those are for products. Now for services, you can become an Amazon expert. You can go and register on websites for services and get rated really well. Angie's List, and so on. So just use that to your advantage. The profile that you have, make sure it's nice. There's good ratings on it. There's good testimonials on it. So that way people can find you and people can quickly trust you for more business, right? So ask your customers to give you good feedback, and then ask them to share it in the social media space. So whether you're a product or your service, or a mix of both, there's lots of ways to generate business online. If you're in the creative spaces, then podcasts, YouTube channels, just name it. There's lots of ways, and even the gamers are making money thanks to esports. So lots of ways. You just have to go find what works for you. Do I have any advice on setting pricing or pricing research? I would advise you to go and go to a library, talk to a business librarian, and ask for some guidance. Go to Google and research about the industry. Go to the stock market, financial analyst, and read their reports about an industry. Or just follow the stock market news and just start there as a way of knowing what people are buying, what people are selling, what is hot, what is not, right? Stuff like that. And just build your general marketplace knowledge, and then start zooming in to thing that you care about, thing that is your business or thing that is your product. And get really specialized into it and follow the trend makers, follow the influencers, and see what they're talking about. What software or website do you recommend for entrepreneurs to use? So if you're talking about building a website, WordPress is a great tool. It's a free tool. Lots of do-it-yourself videos on YouTube for WordPress. There's a huge community, open source community that constantly builds more and more plugins and products. So I would absolutely recommend looking at those. It doesn't hurt to have a web developer or someone who knows how to quickly make changes to the website, but you usually, unless the website is a critical component of your service, you can kind of set it and just have it as a digital business card. But if your business does work online, and like I said, the social media and all that is connected, then you do want to have some experience or someone with experience in the computer science world. Okay, if you have started a business, can I share a time where there was a setback or a failure, and what did you do about it? So usually I don't look back at anything as a failure, because it's a lesson that I've learned. So I've always walked away learning something. I remember I had a deli, and in that deli we didn't serve breakfast because we only focused on lunch. And then our concept was of being vegetarian, healthy snacks, healthy eating, no frozen stuff. And it was costing us a lot more money to be that brand conscious. To be that health conscious, and our customers in that building didn't care. So there were about 400 people in that building who wanted fast food, and they're used to it. And here we're trying to sell them, affordable but healthier options, right? Just lower quantities. So they wanted more for the same price, and it went against our idea. So what we did is we found someone who wanted to have breakfast, have the fast food products, and they bought us out, and they doubled their revenues from what we were making just because they were offering more variety. But I don't see that as a failure. I just saw that I wasn't going to get into that space because I didn't really believe in it. I didn't, I didn't have a different mindset there, and it just was an opportunity to let somebody else thrive in a space where it wasn't there before. So I created something. I got paid for it. I got my I was acquired, so I got a cash buyout, and they went and did well. So it's an opportunity for learning. So anytime you think about failures, think about it as an opportunity for growth. If you had started a business, what was the best advice you ever received? Ideas are dime a dozen, so actions are important. So that's a good advice that I got. Money is never the problem. Money is usually the last problem. It's the ability to come up with the right product solution or service solution that works, and understanding that money could just accelerate it more or to grow it, but then having a plan to contain the growth. So it's usually not the money that's the problem. Bankers are in the business of banking, giving out money for them to make more money. So if you're generating good profits, then any Joe would give you money and you can pay them back and still make a profit. So it's never the money that's the problem. It's really the idea and convincing people that it can grow, that it has some traction. What key costs do business owners often not think about in advance? The taxes. People don't think about taxes like they should until they realize they have to pay them, and then come every 3 months, or you're paying payroll taxes and paying that tax and this tax, and it can get up there. So taxes is a big part. People don't think about them. Insurance is another one. You forget to protect your assets. And the usual suspects are the cost of goods and the rent and the utilities, but those are given. But you don't usually plan for taxes, and you should. Taxes are very important. It could be a big part of your business finances. Okay, so last question, and I do not have good insights here. Except I know it's very important. When the numbers are right, everything is great. When the numbers are not right, you can get in lots and lots of trouble. So don't make up numbers. Be mindful about how things are reported. Sometimes you think you want to pay less taxes and you show less revenue. Well, guess what? It's going to hurt you when you apply for the PPP loan that's happening in COVID-19 world. So be honest. At the end of the day, just the government is there set up to basically function as well as support you, to provide a service in return, to give you the thriving industry that America has. So I enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Charlie, and I hope that the insights or the opinions that I have helped some of you find some insights in your journey to entrepreneurship, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the startup ecosystem in Houston. Do come by the Houston Community College Center for Entrepreneurship. We have 3 of them across town, one in Southeast, one in Northwest, and then one in Southwest at the Missouri City campus. Come see us and see if we can help you grow your venture further. Thank you so much for your time.